Right here, jeez, oh god,
Uh-oh.
now we're getting feedback
wow.
everywhere. Damn it.
Robot voices.
Okay, this sucks. Sorry, the computer crashed and we had to restart everything, and now nothing's working right. So
Super professional this week. Robot voices. Oh, hey, that's better.
Did you get it? Yeah, but we might lose mics, huh? No, we haven't. Okay. Jake, say something.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Sorry we don't have robot voices anymore. That was kind of neat.
What, are you waiting for me?
No, I was trying to read comments.
Lord.
I got a camera in front of the comments.
I'm so
it's
behind.
just
I'm not even ready yet. We got all these people already in the chat, and I'm not even ready, and there's technical difficulties and nothing's working. We got up here like 40 minutes early.
Yeah, we got here crazy early, and look at us.
Yeah, well, if you're just tuning in, sorry that this one's off to a really weird start, but thanks for joining us. We were trying to get everything. We're trying to make upgrades, and then of course you try to do something new, and look what happens. You just get a big old dookie in your mouth, and what?
Dookie in your mouth.
I mean, it happens. I mean,
That doesn't happen.
The proverbial dookie in the mouth.
No, there's
right?
no proverb that says that someone gets poo-poo in their mouth.
Well, anyway, we're here, and it's time for the show. I haven't even turned on the Eye of Sauron yet. Like, look at me. I'm just all behind. You get the behind the scenes stuff. You know, you don't get the people that are just listening to the podcast have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But they're just like, whatever, it's cool. But welcome to the Drive-in Speakerbox. We're a podcast. That's what we're doing up here. We're talking about movies. We're talking about things. We've been doing this for a really long time, and we're going to keep doing this again. So thanks for joining us.
That's why it's so polished.
Yeah, that's because we're professionals. But anyway, I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator.
I'm Jake the Grip.
And we're going to be talking to you guys about some movies this week because it's been a movie week. I went and saw Quiet Place 2 this week, and Jake didn't.
That's right.
Because it's a scary movie.
Well, I hadn't watched the first one.
Because it's a scary movie.
Yeah. Not really my scene, man. But there was nothing. The movie theater's got a big resurgence of some old films or older movies that had already had their theatrical runs. Brought some of those back. So there was nothing new outside of Cruella and Quiet Place.
You didn't go see Cruella? What's your problem, dude?
No, I don't want to see a movie about a dog murderer made into some sort of sympathetic hero. I watched Devil Wears Prada when it came out the first time. I don't need to watch Disney's take on it again. Yeah.
Well, I went and saw Quiet Place. We're going to be talking about that later in the show. Getting caught up in the comments. Shout outs to McLean. He's like, the usual show, huh? And I was like, funny guy over there. Shout outs to Knight Allishley over on Twitch. Getting some sound there. We finally got some sound issues, but we should be good now. Velvet saying over there, Mayday, the landing gear is down. We're doing it live, just like Bill O'Reilly. Garrett says, this is baloney. Our heads look bigger. It's because it's full of brain. And what do you make that? What do you you just have to turn everything dirty, don't you?
No, I didn't. I was just a weird phrase.
Is your head not full of brain?
I don't. My head's like Jackie Chan. It's full of fuck.
What?
Head full of fuck. That's the meme.
Oh, I'm okay. Maybe it must be one of those foreign film things that you like so much. I don't know. But yeah, we got the suggestion from Vince over on Twitch. He's just like, yeah, you need to update the graphic. Tell everybody that this is live. And so we added that down there in the bottom corner. If you're watching the live stream, you can always like and subscribe on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We do this every Monday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we need to actually do it a little bit more. I was looking at Twitch affiliate requirements because now we've hit the followers requirement, but now we're just not streaming enough. So we have to get like 7 hours a month instead of just like a normal 4. So I don't know how we're going to do that. But also Vince was saying popping bottles, which we are. I know this, like, I'm going to pop this bottle, and I know that...
You're going to ruin every digital
Yeah, I just right over your Surface,
device.
Right over my laptop. No, you're totally not supposed to pop bottles this way, but ASMR, right? You go, hang on, I got it. I just don't want to make a mess. There it is. Over in the corner. That is like the most tacky way to pop a bottle.
But it was like movie perfect sound.
Yeah.
That was
just pop.
What's the word for that? There's a movie term.
Foley.
There it is. Foley effects.
That's a good Foley of a cork pop. Here, pass this over to our audience. There we go.
Our live
we got
studio audience.
Yeah, we got some people in the audience tonight. We got the producer up here, getting pretty close to being a producer. Not quite there yet, though. He's in the studio. We got Logan from Camo Retro, one of our fun sponsors over there. I'm not wearing my Camo Retro hat yet.
Also, the man who makes these.
Yeah, he's up here in the studio. You want any champagne, Jake? You trying to celebrate?
What are we celebrating? Good times.
It's Memorial Day.
That's not a thing. It's a day of remembrance.
It's a day of off. You didn't have to work. That's what we're celebrating. We're pouring one out for you not having to go to work.
I have to go to work after this.
Yeah, that doesn't count. You gotta sit at a door and check IDs.
Sparkling grape juice. Thanks, fella.
All right, so cheers to everybody that had a good weekend. We hope you guys had a good weekend.
You know what? Since we were talking about horror movies and big heads and you gave me something, I have something for you.
What is this? Oh, they made one? Greta Gremlin?
Look at this. Because we talk about her on the show all of the time.
Oh, cool. Oh, and she's got like some weird potion that has like a man and woman symbol on it. I don't know what that's all about, but check that out. Look at that. She's got incredibly long arms.
I think that was the one that gremlin, because Christopher Lee's character had all the crazy chemicals and potions, and that's what made all the gremlins change into the different ones, and like the spider,
titty one.
Yeah, the
Look
spider,
at that,
and the female, and the gargoyle, because he was a bat.
So it says on the back, Gremlins. Who he asked?
Well, Vince asked where I got that. I found that at Target. Target has a bunch of these NECA toys. Wally World carries those too. You can find them at pretty much anywhere anymore because collecting is taken off again.
Well, on the back of this package, it says, Gremlins 2, the new batch. This time, Billy and everyone's favorite Mogwai Gizmo must face off against a new batch of gremlins that definitely think New York is their kind of town. We're proud to present this debut action figure of Greta, the female gremlin, a fan-requested favorite and star of multiple show-stopping sequences in this outrageous sequel. Here they grow again. Includes synthetic hair, boa, serum bottle, and interchangeable hands. So there you go. That's what's... here you go, Greta.
There you go.
Dramatic red.
Fan requested. Red. Everyone's like, hey, can I get that one that rapes that dude in Gremlins 2, please?
Like, yay, it's our favorite. Mm-hmm. Our favorite scene. Well, cool. Now we have all of them. We got Christmas Gremlin, we got movie theater Gremlin, and now we have sexy time Gremlin. So
we got a bunch of them.
And then the Gremlins advent calendar that we had, like or countdown calendar as they call it. So all the fun stuff. But anyway, let's get on with the show. Let's talk about some news. Let's talk about some things that happened. It's been a week. There's some new movies coming out we're going to be talking about. There's some stuff that's been going on. I think I want to start with the one because it's really affected my life and my business in the past several months. But the masks. Everybody's talking about masks. COVID-19 masks. AMC, Regal Theaters, the two largest chains in North America, have announced this week that they are no longer requiring masks
for vaccinated people
only. For vaccinated people only. I'm glad you said that because that was the big exclamation point at the end of this announcement, because so many people are getting under the impression that it doesn't mean you have to wear masks ever. I mean, I saw a thing online that was like a hip hop concert or something with the hip hop musics, and it was $18 a ticket, and if you were unvaccinated, and $1,000 a ticket. Or if you were unvaccinated, it was $100 or $1,000. If you were vaccinated, it was only $18 a ticket.
Perfect.
I don't know how they're going to prove that. I mean, the only proof you get of having a vaccination is a Xerox piece of paper that has some scribbles and a stamp on it. But the honor system's been working out so well for the United States.
Yeah. Well, you can tell, I'm vaccinated. And it's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Hairy shoulders, tank top, trucker cap, man.
But it's a thing, I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of more maskless folks going out to the theaters. I think this is just a way for AMC and Regal and just any theater chain to try and just get some more people back in the theaters.
You know what, though? All the people I know, such as ourselves, that are vaccinated, still wear our mask. Like
all the time.
respectable, responsible people. So
all the time.
I think the only people that are going to go in without it are the people that aren't, and they're just going to say that they are, and it's completely pointless.
It's true. It's true. So get your shots, get your vax. Don't lie about it.
I saw at Walgreens today.
Do or
they had
do not.
A
There is
sign
no
that
lie.
said no wait, no line, no appointment. They have vaccines available. So
yeah, the drive-through went over there at Washington Regional here in Northwest Arkansas, where we broadcast live every Monday night. It's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. There's never a line anymore. It's like I don't even know why they have the drive-through thing anymore. It's just no one's there. Yeah, it's be kind, and I mean, you know, what was it, like the VHS days? Be kind, rewind. We need like a fun little slogan of don't be an ass, get your vax. Or that doesn't even rhyme either. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not here to make jingles. I'm here to sing them. Velvet Santa just said something Hip Hop Anonymous when I was talking about hip hop music, and it made me think of the Hip Hopopotamus from Toe Jam and Earl. I don't know if you guys ever played any Toe Jam and Earl, but
yeah, me and you play.
It was a good game.
Yeah,
we beat that game.
You know what? Talking about theaters and everything, it was announced today that Tokyo will be reopening some of its theaters and museums. They're relaxing their regulations on that, despite that Japan has increased their state of emergency in 9 prefectures, Tokyo included, to the end of June. But starting tomorrow, which might be today in Japan, they are going to lessen some of the restrictions in Tokyo proper. So they're actually going to start opening movie theaters and stuff like that again there. So it'll be interesting to see how some of those movies that have been performing so well, like your train movie, Demon Slayer. Yeah, see how that goes now.
Mugen Train.
Now that theaters will be open,
it's gonna
slay.
Yeah, Demon Slayer, slay. Yeah, well, whatever. Velvet Santa says over there on Twitch, he says, my wife wants to see the new Wes Anderson movie in theater when it comes out, as do I. That movie looks like it's going to be pretty cool. And Wes Anderson has a style. Say what you will about him. Some of his movies are more hit than miss, or vice versa, depending on what you like. I'm personally, there for a while, I was kind of getting sick of Wes Anderson movies until he started doing like Fantastic Mr. Fox and then the Isle of Dogs. That one was really good, but we'll see what he's got coming up with this new one. Vince says, "Don't be a crab, get a jab or stab." That's all he's got. I mean, that'll work. Don't get crabs, get a stab. That sounds like a slogan for something else, some other vaccine. But anyway, what else happening in the news this week?
It may put some sort of damper on these 2 International Space Station movies that are supposed to start filming. There was some damage to the ISS today. Some debris hit one of the arms on it. So stay tuned if you're interested in that Russia patriotic film or the Tom Cruise movie that are supposed to start filming up there here in the next few months. I think October is when they're supposed to be heading up. What
must it be like to be Tom Cruise, to just be like, you know what, I want to hang off of a Boeing,
awesome.
And they're like, okay, Mr. Cruise, and he's like, you know what, I want to go into space, and he's like, okay, Mr. Cruise, I want to fly, jets, fighter jets, because I'm Tom Cruise. And they're like, all right, Mr. Cruise.
Well, the thing is, sometimes they say no, and he's like, I'm sorry, what? And then he makes himself a producer, and he's like, the producer says yes.
Like, all right, right this way to this aircraft carrier, Mr. Cruise. Buckle up. Like, wow. Say what you will about the guy. He's like a level 7, like Florgnot or whatever in the Church of Scientology, whatever that ranking system is. But you know what? The dude gets to go to space if he wants to. That's kind of neat.
You know what? Velvet Santa said something about they could film in the same studio they faked the moon landing in. Fun facts. There's a Adam Ruins Everything about how film technology of the time could not fake a moon landing. Watch it. It gives you both a behind the scenes on movies and how filming worked in the 60s, technology they had then, and all sorts of fun facts about real history and non-conspiracy theories and how the world actually works. And
take off your tinfoil hats for 5 minutes and learn something.
It's actually pretty cool to see, not just to debunk conspiracy theories, of which the United States are the only ones that believe in that kind of nonsense, but
Go America!
Yeah, well, I mean, there's independent Australian scientists that said they picked up the radio comms and telecommunications independently of NASA, and Russia's never denied that the U.S. hit the moon first, which they would have every reason to, just to make us look like crap during the Cold War, and they didn't do it.
Exactly.
So, but the fun part of it is, in that particular episode, is you get to see some behind the scenes of how filming worked and technology that existed in the 60s. But you know what? Talking about Russia and movies and acting, did you see that Steven Seagal was denied being able to run for Russian political office?
Why was he trying?
Because he still retained his U.S. citizenship. So it recently was shown that
Mr.
Steven Seagal is in a pro-Putin party called Just Russia Patriots.
Dude, his movies are pretty
for Truth, or Fair Russia. So Steven Seagal is like apparently some sort of Putin sympathizer or loyalist, and he wants to be some sort of Russian statesman. But what was funny is
I like how his life is the exact opposite of Tom Cruise. He's like, I want to be in this movie. Well, Mr. Seagal, we're sorry about that. And he's like, well, I just want to do something. I want to, sorry, Mr. Seagal. And he's like, well, maybe I can run for Russian. Sorry, Mr. Seagal. Just can you stop being a huge, ugly creep?
So what's funny about that is the news article, one of the news articles I read about this on Yahoo News, they referred to him as former actor and martial arts fan. They didn't call him a martial artist or actor.
Well, that's because they got guys like Mirko Krokop who are in office in Russia, and that dude can kick a tree off of its stump. Like, you got Steven Seagal trying to go up and step to some sort of office with Mirko freaking Krokop. No, dude, Russia's like, sorry, you're just a
but they called him
fan.
A former actor and martial arts fan. So any of you that dislike Steven Seagal, there's that little tidbit for you.
His credibility is under siege.
Well, yeah. Apparently he tried to become a Russian citizen in 2016, and that just really didn't work out. But he's still trying to be a some sort of like statesman. Lodge Webb coming in pointing out sword and guitar collector. He does have extensive Japanese sword and guitar collections.
Every southern white redneck child that stays 18 until he's 56, like that's sword and guitar collector. Man, you know what's really rad? Swords and guitars, man.
I feel very attacked right now.
Do you? Well, you don't have a guitar collection.
I have like 2 or 3. Does that count as a collection?
Do you play guitar?
No, I've tried.
Dude, just guitars are cool, man. I just get an axe next to my axes, you know what I'm saying, dude, and just shred while I shred, dude. It's like Exhibit, but cooler.
If I could have the Gene Simmons axe, I would not
well,
have
that's
the Gene
different.
Simmons
That's
axe.
the Gene Simmons axe. That's the legendary. That's memorabilia.
You remember at Spencer's when they had the contest and you could win one of the axes?
I filled out an entire pad of entry forms because I worked at Spencer's, and so I was like, yoink, I'm just going to take these home and fill them all out, and still didn't win that damn guitar. But I did have some Gene Simmons house shoes that were pretty cool. They were like the big, they were really comfy.
I also want those Gene Simmons boxers where your dick is his tongue from what's the movie?
From
Detroit Rock City.
Oh man, that's. I mean, if anybody is gonna have boxers like that, it's gonna be Spencer's. They always had like the dick centric, like, hey, look at my pecker underwear, like it's a elephant trunk or a garden with a cucumber in it or something. Anyway. What's going on over here in the comments?
Vince asked if we watched a TV show on Apple TV. Unfortunately, not. I don't have Apple TV.
I don't have Apple TV either. I refuse to give Apple any of my money.
Yeah, I don't
can't
own
do it.
any Apple products, and I haven't invested in it on something that would be able to. What would even be able to run Apple TV that I have? Is it available on Xbox?
Apple TV. You get the little
counterproductive.
You get another dongle that then it's like a Google Chromecast, and you plug it in, and you just like give them money, and it's done.
Yeah, I'm not doing that for something that'll probably end up like the 10-minute deal that Paramount Plus bought and Roku bought. What was it?
Something plus. Velvet Sin says Apple TV is on the Rokus. Logan says shout out to the Clangers TV YouTube channel, Seagal video. Oh yeah, that was there's a video where they just roast the hell out of Steven Seagal, and is
that the one that inspired the Safe Space South Park episode?
I have no clue, but it's pretty funny. Those guys are hilarious and can get away with a lot more on streaming than we can, because we show our faces. So yeah, we ain't trying to put that kind of target on our back. But another movie news. This is something that I thought was kind of cool, even though I don't really like 4K remaster releases of really old movies.
Why not? They're awesome.
Dude,
we go through this all the time.
We're not gonna argue about it tonight. Honey, we're not going to have that argument tonight.
I'm just saying the Total Recall 4K is sick.
I'm just saying it's unnecessary.
And I can't wait until I decide to waste the money on the Lord of the Rings 4K set.
Well, if you're ready to waste some money on a movie that I don't think you even like, David Lynch's Dune is getting a 4K release from Arrow Video.
Got Sir Patrick Stewart in it, man.
Well, yeah, but do you like David Lynch's Dune?
I mean, I can sit through it sometimes.
So that's a no.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend money on it.
Well, coming out of...
I'll watch it when it's on TV sometimes.
Oh, God. No, I mean, it's a great film. Of course, not for everyone, but there's...
A sting?
Yeah, a sting, getting the spice.
It's a sting.
But, coming up on the heels of the new Dune film... coming out this, I think, still on slate for October. I don't think there's any reason it'll get pushed back now because of everything was, getting back on track here. Vin says he doesn't like 4K. It's only the 8K. And Vern says Dune was cool but hard to watch. Yes, I mean, like a lot of really awesome art films that sort of teeter on the brink of blockbuster stylings. Blade Runner, the original, is one of those. It's like it has every bit of the makings for like a blockbuster action, sci-fi movie, but definitely the pacing and the style is in the wheelhouse of art film. Or like I think the remake of Solaris was trying too hard, and that's where it failed, because the original Solaris is just unwatchably but watchably amazingly trippy and weird. And then they did the George Clooney Solaris, and it was trying too hard to be a popcorn movie, and it's not. Like, Solaris is a make you question whether you want to be alive anymore kind of movie. It's one of those you don't watch when you're in a bad mood. But yeah, Dune getting a 4K release, that's pretty cool. I think that's neat. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it because I'll just watch my old DVD copy, but it's cool for those people out there that want to collect physical media, which I am a huge supporter of. Yeah. Shane Gray says Dune and Blade Runner are excellent, and I also agree. Night Ashley says, can't decide about Dune based on everything I've heard. Keep meaning to read and watch it, but I never do. Might actually watch the new one. It's not a casual read. It's one you kind of got to get into, but it's a good read. It's just more than one book, obviously, but the first one's really, really great. Vern says the original Solaris was directed in the late 60s, early 70s by the Italian director blank. Are we doing trivia now? Because I just can't think of his name right now, but it's a good movie if you've never seen it. I mean, honestly, the newer one's not bad either. The score is fantastic. Vince says, first 4 times I watched Blade Runner, fell asleep, but I was wide awake for the new Blade Runner.
Well, it depends on which cut of Blade Runner you watched for the first time, too. There was only 4 or 5 of those.
Well, and you also had, I believe it's Vangelis. It was either Vangelis or Tangerine Dream. It's escaping me. I want to say Vangelis, who did the score, and that is just
super soft, chill music.
Super chill. Like, it is. it's perfect. You know, yeah, every person that still makes like YouTube channels to like relax to, and it's like, you know, cyberpunk street vibes, and it's always that it's all like that Blade Runner. It's noir. Like Blade Runner is noir, but it's future noir, and it's super cool.
You know what? I played for some friends the other day the Escape from New York theme because we were talking about John Carpenter and his music.
Oh yeah,
because we talked about Escape or
the Duke of New York
Big
song
Trouble
from that
in Little
score
China
is,
and everything. And I was like, oh, you got to hear the friggin' Escape from New York theme, you know.
Dude, John Carpenter.
Yeah. But I forgot how slow it was because when you're in the movie and you're watching it, you're just like, yeah,
because
this is sick, and John Carpenter just kills it. But then when you're like, yo, check this out, it's dope, and everyone's having a good time, it just really brings it down.
And that brings me to something I wanted to talk about later in the show, but this is a good transition into it, is the difference between the theatrical experience and the home experience. When you're watching that shit in an isolated big screen environment with the sound jumped way up, and it's like, and it's like New York at whatever date it was, like 2014 or something, and it's like the distant future, and everything's fucked, and everyone's a bad guy, and New York is captured, and there's a president.
Ernest Borgnine's not a bad guy.
No, he's not. He's the cab driver, and you know, but that John Carpenter movies really excel on a good system, a big sound. You know, you look at The Fog. Like The Fog is a movie that you're like, dude, you gotta watch The Fog, yo. And then you put it on TV in October, and they're like, this movie's stupid. And you're like, well, because you're on your phone, you're sitting there munching something, you're making microwaves, blah blah blah, and you're going in and out of the room. You're not just sitting there getting that John Carpenter like long, super too long and awkward synth like key hold where he's just like, you're like, yes! Yeah. And it works when you're just sucked in.
It's such a good song in the movie, though. You know what? Talking about seeing things in the movies, Velvet Santa said they waited to see Jaws in the theater. Totally worth it. We've talked about that on the show because we watched Jaws in the theater. And actually, there are things that I heard in the movie theater that I'd never heard on any sort of video or
do you see this?
Television. Yeah, it's a snake patch.
It's my Snake Pliskin Escape from New York branded eye patch.
We should go get
the name Snake. Call me Pliskin.
We should go get Snake Pliskin tattoos. I'll get the one from Escape from New York, and you can get the one from Escape from LA.
Okay. Why do I have to get LA?
I don't know. We can swap it. I don't care.
Okay.
We can be Snake Pliskin twins.
As long as if I'm the basketball scene, which he actually did that, by the way, and blew everyone's minds.
Just like Sigourney Weaver in Alien, where the scene where she throws it over her back and it's nothing but net.
Yeah.
And everyone's reaction is legit. You talking about like that?
Dude, just like that, because that's what happened in Escape from LA. Like, you know, he sunk that shot, and it was in 2 tries. Yeah. 32 tries. Well, he got it, and that's awesome.
That's fewer tries than it would take any of us.
Oh yeah, I would have given up and stabbed the basketball with a knife before probably the 16th one. I've been like, screw this, I'm out. Someone fix it in post.
Velvet Santa thought that was your Snake Pliskin thong, not eye patch.
It'd be a lot bigger than that, dude. That's too small to handle that snake.
Whoa!
Hey! Chris over there is talking about Tibetan throat singing. Different movie, but like he's into Koyaanisqatsi and Philip Glass like throat singing style. If you want to hear some weird music, that's a good one. Let's see. Velvet Santa says Isaac Hayes played a guard in a basketball scene. Oh, well, he was also So you know, he was the Duke of New York in the original.
A#1.
Yeah, A#1, Duke of New York. I've always wanted to weld chandeliers on the front of my Bronco, because I'm never gonna have like a big land yacht Cadillac like that. But dude, wouldn't it be rad having like working chandeliers? Oh god, the Duke Mobile would be awesome.
No, that would be sick. Because the first time you see it, you're just like, wow, that's ridiculous and so cool. I need it.
Vince says, speaking of Escape, I'll rewatch Death Proof on HBO Max. Wow, liked it a lot, better than the first time in the theater. Death Proof is one of those movies that, again, I think because it was packaged with the Grindhouse thing, and the other half of it was such butt trash.
Planet Terror. Planet Terror was the one that everyone liked better than Death Proof.
Because it was all like, oh, drippy nutsack gore and machine gun leg and like dumbass.
It was
dumbassery. And Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was the best part of that whole movie. And Machete.
It was dumbass. The director, the guy that did Death Proof. Why can't I think of his name? Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino. He was the dude that had the drippy nutsack.
But Robert Rodriguez did
Planet Terror, which is why everyone liked it better, because Quentin Tarantino's trash. I hate him. Hey, you know what though? Talking about movies about cars. Guess what, y'all? Tomorrow is June 1st and June 25th. It's about family. I'm jazzed. Yes.
We're not even there yet.
No, but we're getting there. Everyone needs to know. Get the underglow on your
I'm pretty
car
sure
ready.
everybody
Install
already
your
knows.
NOS. I hope so.
Everybody already knows.
Get ready to see your boy shooting flames. Have an underglow. Poot scooting.
Definitely gonna be pootin'. Like, come on, man. We don't need to derail talking about Fast and Furious right now.
Dude, it's going to be so good.
Man. Oh, now it's in the comments.
Welcome back to the movies.
Dina says, nah, we like Planet Terror for Tom Savini. Tom Savini is just a likable dude in general. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you should. Tom Savini, one of the last remaining great FX artists, practical FX artists alive today. He's in a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies because they're homies. Most people know him as Love Machine from Dusk Till Dawn, where he has the little pecker gun that comes out, and he has the whip for no reason, and just because Tom Savini thought it'd be funny, and he's like, oh, yeah, dude, wouldn't this be hilarious to just have a pecker gun, and watch, I'll make it. And they're like, all right, Tom Savini, you do you, bro. He actually has a school, an FX school that is pretty well known, and you know, if you need a guy that's gonna make blood, guts, and zombies, Tom Savini is your man. And he's often in movies doing a cameo role that he does FX in, just because he's Tom freaking Savini, man. He's the coolest. Let's see. Vern says they're bringing back the original guy that died in the first movie, the one that drove the Jetta in Fast and Furious. Are we talking about Fast and Furious?
Oh, no, they're not. They're not bringing. There's no way. He got gunned down in the street.
I gotta have more champagne if we're gonna be talking about Fast and Furious.
Jesse is who that is. Vince said you should lock the studio so that I can't review the movie afterward.
Oh, you'll kick the door down. You just can't handle it.
Just kick it down and pop Coronas and go, it's about family.
Oh, God. Yeah, like the Kool-Aid man. You just come in. Oh, yeah, family. Well, speaking of movies that are coming out, let's talk about the movies that are actually coming out this week, because there are 3 that are coming out. Not huge releases. There's one that's a really big release that everybody's been seeing the trailers for, because it's the next iteration of films in the Conjureverse, which, cheers, Dina. Hey, thank you. And whatever you're drinking, cheers to you as well. But this one's called Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, which is, I'm assuming, what the producers are saying if it's bad. They're like, look, the devil made me do it. It's, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are reprising their roles as everyone's favorite husband and wife exorcist duo. This one's directed by Michael Chavez. This movie, after the Nun one, I'm just like, oh, God, can we just stop with this?
The Nun, that's what it was called, wasn't it? It was just called The Nun?
I think so. It was Conjuring, Nuniverse, None yo business. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But the Conjuring, didn't Annabelle a part of the Conjureverse too? And she was like a side prop in a corner of one of the Conjuring movies, and they were like, oh, what's that spooky doll? And I was like, oh, you want to know about that? And then someone's like, well, we do want to know about that. And then they made another movie, and then they made a sequel to that movie, which is a prequel to a movie about a prop in the corner of a full movie, and then they made another sequel to that, and then it's just out of control, you guys. It's absolutely out of control. But it's more of this just things that go bump in the night. And what I will say about the original Conjuring is, movies about demonic possession and things that go bump in the night that you can't really see or explain, or if you explain it, it's just like Bible stuff. Those are kind of the creepiest ones. Like if you're gonna spook me out with a movie, it's not gonna be a slasher. It's not gonna be a monster movie. It's not gonna be maniac killers or genetic engineered, or it's not gonna be any nuclear beasts or things from outer space. It's gonna be Bible shit. That stuff creeps me out.
Like Indiana Jones?
What?
Indiana Jones.
Does that creep you out?
No.
The Ark of the Covenant?
I'm asking you.
Where the face mountains, like, don't look at it. No, that's action adventure. And or you're gonna be like, you're gonna throw Da Vinci Code at me next? Like, what? It's the movies about, because here's the weird thing about Bible shit is
Da Vinci Code does have Vision whipping the shit out of himself, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Da Vinci Code's a good movie, but movies about like spooky Bible shit creep me out more than anything else, because there's enough people in this world that think that's real, and you believe in something long enough, it might actually be real. And you're like, what goes on at the Vatican? I don't know. Do they have like a ghost busting team? Like, I don't know. We don't know. And they could. What are you leaning away from me for?
I'm just separating myself from you when lightning hits. Is all.
What I'm saying is, like, that's the stuff that really gives me the heebie-jeebies is, people that are devil worshippers. And, what's that movie? Oh, I really love that movie. It's about I recommend it every October. House of the Devil, I think is what it is. And, just great about devil worship weirdness and then demonic possession. You're, like, speaking in tongues and, like, and the weirdest thing about demonic possession movies is like how freakadeek horny like all the demons always are. You don't even know. You're making eyes.
No,
like,
I've seen Bordello of Blood.
Well, no, all of them. Like, it's always like some like innocent, pure little girl that gets like possessed by a demon, and he's like, "I'll choke on your nutsack," and like, "I'm such a dirty whore," and you're like, "What? Why are these demons such horn dogs? Like, why are they trying to get their fuck on all the time? It's weird."
This is an adult episode.
It is an adult episode because we're talking about scary movies, dude. The devil's making me do it right now.
I believe that.
I'm feeling the devil. But I don't know. I mean, I get it. Those unseen spooky things.
Unseen spooky things.
Yeah, Velvet Santa's Leviticus, The Reckoning. What do we got? Velvet Santa, Gabriel, you're insane. Vince says, House of the Devil, 2009, 1983, financially struggling college student Samantha. Yeah, that's the one. That is the one. House of the Devil, that is a weird sleeper hit that it's about devil shit. And, if you want a movie to just like watch and get spooked up on, that's one just comes out of left field. Rosemary's Baby, another really classic. Like, if you want to go talking about like devil making me do it, like that movie's not scary at all, but that movie is unsettling, especially considering how old it is. And you're like,
They remade
weird.
it too.
Man, it sucked.
It has old what's her name, Uhura from the new Star Trek in it.
That version was doo-doo butt. Or even like, I know it's a little bit over the top, but I really like the one with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino, where my brain is all over the place. But he's the devil's advocate. Yeah, he's the. I'm just a Georgia lawyer, and then he goes up to New York City, and he's the attorney for the devil. And
well, that's lame. How are they supposed to get paste picante sauce?
I don't know. The stuff's made in New York City. Get a rope. But yeah, Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It. That's coming out in theaters. I don't know. I'll probably see it just because there's nothing else to see. Jake won't go with me because he's too scared.
Yeah, that's not for me. I don't do jump scares, man.
There is no jump scares in this. It's like
there is in the trailer.
That's because it's edited to be like that.
No, not for me.
It's all because if somebody's gonna fall off that cliff and hang on, there's gonna be a hand grabbing at you.
Yeah,
like you can predict that stuff from a mile away, man. It's like The Woman in Black. You want to watch a cool movie that does some good scares and sets up jump scares. Okay, the Woman in Black, and even the remake that came out several years ago with old Harry Potter was pretty good. But the OG is also good as well. So fun movie there. Vince says, speaking of scary, are you guys psyched for the new Boss Baby sequel? Boss Baby Family Business?
No,
dude. only business that I associate with that movie is a business in a diaper, and that's what is that movie's just a bunch of business, if you ask me. Boss Baby, ugh. But also coming out, speaking of kids movies, Spirit Untamed. I'm not quite sure if this is a sequel. I haven't done a whole lot of research on this one. If this is a sequel to the 2002 movie Spirit Untamed, or like Spirit of the Cimarron,
I think
or
it was
some
just
shit.
called Spirit.
But it had like a colon, and it was about ponies. You know, kids love pony movies, and this is another one. What?
Kids love pony movies.
They do love pony movies. They like My Little Ponies. They like Spirit. They like, ponies. For as many like young children that are obsessed with horses, there's not a lot of animated horse movies out there, or horse movies that are just like feel good. Like Black Beauty is not a feel good movie, or is it Black Beauty? Is that the name?
Yeah, Black Beauty's.
Yeah, where it dies. Secretariat's not a kids movie. Seabiscuit's not a kids movie. War Horse is not a kids movie. Racing Stripes. Are we talking about Boss Baby again?
Might as well be, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. The Black Stallion.
Dina says, horse girls alive and well. Yeah, man. Or what's that YouTube clip? Did you see that YouTube video about that lady that like loved horses so much that she like gallops around like a horse? And Logan's over here like going, oh my God, that one. Like, dude, that is some weird internet right there. It's just like, I really love horses, so now I walk like a horse and run like a horse. I learned how to gallop. Like human bones aren't made for that. But that's how much people love horses.
You thinking about asking her out?
Hey, man, I like horses. Sup, horse? I don't know. How's that joke go? You set it up.
I don't know.
You're the one that says it. I like how you draw a blank at everything. You're like, nah, dude. The on-camera me is no. There's the video clip right there. Look at it. Look at it.
I see it.
Look at it. Would you just look at it?
I see it.
You see the clip?
Look,
wait, she's jumping the table. Look at it.
Okay, we need to talk about movies.
Oh, Velvet says he used to pretend to be a dinosaur.
Yeah,
I mean,
you used to walk around the neighborhood with your arms like this, and you walk around. I can't even do it anymore. But they yelled at you, "Grow up! You're 17 years old. You need to quit acting like a goddamn dinosaur." Is that what you're talking about? Are you from Step Brothers?
I thought it was just a memory of your childhood there for a second.
No, it's the dad in Step Brothers. He's like, I used to have a dream too. I wanted to be a dinosaur. And he said he'd walk around like that. And they're like, grow up, you're 17. It's like, you thought he was a kid, but it turns out he was a teenager terrorizing all the kids in the neighborhood.
I really just picture you in that story, Jake, where you're running around and like, I'm a Tyrannosaurus. And you're like, all right, Jake, that's fine. You're late for high school. And
who wants to be a T-Rex when there's so many more cool dinosaurs? When you can be like an Ankylosaurus instead, or you could be like a friggin' Mosasaur or something. Mosasaur's not a dinosaur; it's a mosasaur, but people call them dinosaurs. So
because it ends in "saur."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of whales that end in the word "saur" because people found their skeletons and they're like, "Oh, it must be a friggin' dinosaur. Call it saur." And they're like, "Well, actually, it's a mammal." Get into it. History's fun. Paleontology rules.
Yo, dude, Drive-in Speakerbox Biology Edition coming at you next week. We're going to just do a David Attenborough special.
We could watch, like, that movie Dinosaur.
Open the door, get on the floor, everybody do the dinosaur. Remember that? Yeah. Like, every time we get drunk enough at karaoke, like, Jake's all like, oh, yeah, let's do the dinosaur.
No,
and then,
that's not me.
And then none of us know the words except for that part.
No, I never do it.
You always pick that song.
I don't know. You're thinking of somebody else.
No, nobody but you and me know that song, dude.
No, there's somebody else.
We're just like, oh, yeah, the boom, boom, chaka-laka, boom, 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 chaka-laka, boom, boom. Which, isn't that from, like, Super Mario Brothers, the movie?
Probably.
Yeah.
With the terrible Goombas.
Open the door, get on the floor, everybody do the dinosaur.
Yoshi was just a baby T-Rex from Jurassic Park 2.
God, ugh. Yeah, but I mean, wasn't Bob Hoskins in that movie?
He was Mario.
Jeez.
And what's his face? John Leguizamo was.
Oh yeah, John Leguizamo was Luigi. Where's John Leguizamo been these days? What's he doing? How's he? Is he all right? Has somebody checked on John Leguizamo lately? See, is he hanging in there?
He was in John Wick, like 1 and 3.
Oh, that's right. He was. Vince said Dennis Hopper. Yeah, Dennis Hopper was King Koopa. Yeah. Chris says, I'm 100% sure picked that song last time I karaoke with you guys. No, I did not. He said, no, I did. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. No. It wasn't me. I didn't. That's a song I would pick.
I pick Whitesnake and Kiss.
And James Brown.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, last time you were like, living in America, because you wanted to sing like the Apollo Creed song, and then you got real embarrassed about it.
That's true, because everyone was looking at me. I didn't like it.
Yeah. I'm living in America.
But I nailed some. Hey!
He did. He really did.
It was better than that, yeah.
Because you had your booze into it, yeah. Well, also coming out this weekend, we have Samaritan with Sylvester Stallone, Martin Starr. It is an action drama, fantasy sci-fi about a young boy learning that a superhero who is thought to have gone missing after an epic battle 20 years ago may in fact still be around in the form of Sylvester Stallone. Little indie film here, may or may not come to a theater near you. Looks somewhat interesting. It looks like a movie to watch. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, Sylvester Stallone, you never know what you're going to get out of Sly. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's just like, hey, I needed a paycheck, And, they can't all be Tango and Cash. Which is hilarious at how cult popularity has brought that movie back. When people used to scoff at me like 17 years ago when I started this show, and I'm just like, yo, we're going to listen to Harold Faltermeyer music, because this used to be a whole soundtrack show, and now I can't do that because it's on the internet and FCC shit. But I was like, we're going to listen to one of my favorite movies, Tango and Cash. I was like, oh, that's stupid. Tango and Cash is garbage, butt trash. I've never even heard of that crap. And now it's like, Tango and Cash is awesome. Thank you, streaming
Who would ever
media.
dislike Tango and Cash?
Apparently a lot of people, but now it is cool because, yes, they've seen the light. Tango and Cash is a Sylvester Stallone classic. Just magnifique. And Judge Dredd. And now people are realizing how good Demolition Man is. People are revisiting Demolition Man and going, one of the greatest, like,
Who would
90s.
Ever see that and not be like, yeah, this rules?
Dude, I don't know, but Demolition... they're talking of Demolition Man sequel now? I don't think I like the idea of that either. But I mean, you've got Sylvester Stallone, and you get the whole gang back together. I'm pretty sure
Snyder.
Pretty sure you could get Rob Snyder involved. I'm pretty sure you could get Sandra Bullock involved, and I know everybody's got nothing better to do. They're gonna do it. Wesley Snipes, I guarantee you, has nothing better to do.
They can't put him in it. He's dead.
What? Have you ever seen a movie? Like, isn't Han in Fast and Furious 9?
Yeah, but that's like a
okay. Full stop. Yeah, but movies.
It'll defeat.
He
the
died.
Whole purpose.
Han died. Right?
Did he? It was off screen.
So that's what I'm saying. Wesley Snipes may not have died.
He totally got killed on screen.
No, we didn't. You don't know. It could have been a Freezy clone guy.
Whatever.
It was the future, man. Everybody was eating Taco Bell.
Hey, you said there. Listen, don't you have a movie to review?
I do have a movie to review. We better get to the movie reviewing part of the show because, yeah, I watched one.
Look at that. Vern pointed out Jesse's dead. They keep Jesse dead, so there you go.
Well, got to have somebody dead. So we've got A Quiet Place 2. Quiet Place 2, of course, a sequel to the, 2018 film, A Quiet Place, that kind of took horror by storm when it came out. It is John Krasinski, the guy from The Office, the American version that everybody was like, oh, man, he's directing a horror movie? How's that going to work out? And it turned out it was really well done. Everybody kind of lost their shit about it. He did inspire a lot of other movies coming out of the genre. He's basically got blank checks handed at him left and right after this movie. And Quiet Place 2 was, of course, what happens when any sort of indie film not destined for a sequel makes a whole lot of money off of a very limited budget. They say, well, we have to have sequels. This is the product of it. It stars Emily Blunt, who I think is still his wife, last time I checked. This one adding Cillian Murphy to the mix, and the kids. So I called him Cillian Murphy last time, and everybody was like, no, it's Killian. So, Jesus Christ, what is it? Sicilian Murphy? He's like a pizza? Yeah. Yeah, Sicilian Murphy. So, anyway, this movie, one of the things that really, really made me like this film, the original film, is kind of like one of the same reasons I really like the Vivitch, as I call it, the witch spelled with 2 V's, that came out several years ago, is the sound design. Like, one of the things that horror usually tends to get wrong in modern horror is building suspense through audio. And, being a sound guy myself, audio is one of those things that it's 50% of the movie. You're seeing half the movie, but the other half is what you're hearing. And most people think it's a totally visual medium, but that is incorrect. And with movies like this, sound becomes such an important character in the movie, dare I say. And, this movie, it commands an audience to be just as quiet as the characters on screen. And when I went and saw the sequel, there was a group of, teenage buttholes in like the second row that were talking all through the trailers, just being like, commenting on everything. And I'm like, oh my God, am I going to have to go be that guy, that grown up? And it's like, hey, assholes.
If there was one movie to ever be silent during,
it's literally A Quiet Place. Like, come on. And, but they were quiet in this movie. And Dina says, sound is definitely a character. Hitchcock did stuff like this. Yes, correct, Amundo. And so Quiet Place 2, I came in with pretty low expectations because it was a movie that never intentionally was written to have a sequel. And that's what made the first one so good, I think, is because the consequences were steep, but the resolution was not there. It was a story taking place in this world of danger, that, you kind of like Cloverfield Lane, I thought was pretty solid because the world didn't get fixed at the end. There was still problems abound. There was still, there's just crap going on in the world that's more than the problems that are happening with your main characters. But this one's like, okay, well, we're going to keep going. We're going to explore this world a little bit. And so I was worried. I was like, how far can they take this? But what they did and did well is split it up into 2 sort of storylines. There's the adventure that the young deaf girl takes, played by Regan Abbott, who is phenomenal in her role. And she goes off with Emmett, Cillian Murphy's character, and they have this sort of adventure. And then the other side of it is Emily Blunt and her son Marcus, played by Noah, and the little baby, and their sort of storyline. And these timelines, you're watching 2 parallel timelines, which is the only way they could have made this movie so interesting enough to keep following. Because if it was just the family and they weren't split up, it would have been kind of a boring linear story. But having these 2 things kept the pacing and kept the excitement and tension high enough to where you were engaged the whole time, and with a movie like this where you're already used to things like don't make a noise, and every noise that gets made like puts you on the edge of your seat, they managed to recapture that again, which I didn't think would be an easy way to do it, but they did it in other ways. And so, they did explore the world a little bit more. They explored the creatures a little bit more, but still giving them an air of mystery. Probably one of my biggest complaints about this movie is what happens with most monster movies is once you see the monster, like the reveal's gone. There's a scariness about them that goes away after you've really seen what goes bump in the night. You're like, okay, I know what it looks like. It's this big, it's essentially the creature from Stranger Things with the tentacle head. And they managed to keep them scary in this movie, even though some of the special effects seemed to get a little hokey when you saw them running around slamming bodies left and right, and you're like, monster tactics. But I think it was a necessary evil to do in this movie to propel the story forward further. Hang on, let me jump up some comments. What do we have here? Props for using an actor that's actually deaf. Yes, that was very, very cool. Imagine if this was an Eddie Murphy movie instead of a Cillian Murphy movie. That would make it honestly, Eddie Murphy's a good actor. I'm not gonna knock him. Vince says that's what made Blair Witch so scary to me a million years ago. Yes, there is something special about the unseen, and when you have established it so hard, this movie does what the last movie avoided and starts to dabble in what zombie movies do so well. And this is something we talked about in Army of the Dead last week about the zombie trope, which zombie movies are never about zombies. Zombie movies are about how horrible people become when faced against a zombie apocalypse. And this movie does kind of the same. It's been like 400 days since these creatures just happened in the small town. We don't know if it's global. We just know it's in this part of the northeast, excuse me. And you start to see, okay, well, it's been 400 days. The people that are still alive have figured this out, kind of. Everybody else is probably dead, and the people that are still alive, are they the kind of people that you want to just go up and ask for help from, or are they kind of horrible humans? And it dabbles in that. It dabbles in a little bit of those, like, you can't trust people in an apocalyptic scenario because it shows the worst of humanity. And I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but there are a lot of problems still in this movie because it is a monster movie. There are a lot of things that drive me insane about the first one that get carried over into the second one. It's like creatures that can hear so absolutely well and go and destroy anything that makes a noise. Like, how are they able to laser focus in on someone's footsteps when they're crashing through piles of like empty metal barrels and like the loudest objects on the planet? They're just like, here's a whole pallet full of sun chip bags, and then everything's rattling like crazy, but they still hear the kid that's walking barefoot through the sand over there, and then a seashell, he steps on it and goes crack, and it's like, oh no! And it's like, dude, they only hear the sun chip bags. Or the fact that there's like there's animals in the movie, and it's like, how come the animals aren't dying? Do these aliens know how to differentiate between like normal Earth sounds and Earth sounds made by people that are just walking around doing people things? Like, I don't know. That kind of crap drives me absolutely insane, and that is a problem by exploring a world that you've created too much and then having to abide by the own rules that you create in that world, and that drives me nuts.
Velvet Santa has a question. Are they scarier than Langoliers? Langoliers creep me out, man.
The Pac-Man that ate yesterday?
Yeah.
I mean,
Langoliers are creepy.
They're just like eyeless, like flesh Pac-Man that just chomp up yesterday's time.
The past, yeah. Don't get stuck in the past. But also, Velvet Santa brings up a good point that there was probably a lot of people that refused to be quiet because they thought it was a liberal hoax.
I ain't gonna be quiet, man. These things aren't real. Bing, bing, bing. Man, they get dead. Well, there was some creepy kind of, they weren't in the South in this movie, but there were some creepy New Englander boat people, and water people are a special breed.
Were they like, making noise? Nah, forget about it. We're walking here.
We're fishing here. Yeah. You guys want a lobster roll? Anyway, Vince says, John Krasinski says he already has lots of notes for part 3 because money. He has to make notes on part 3 because this movie, speaking of money, $58 million in its opening weekend. Freaking Ching,
that's
dude.
That's a big old COVID opening right there.
It beat Tenet's entire run in its opening weekend. So everybody's going bananas, going, oh man, movies are back. Here we go, baby. Money printer go burr. And you've got everybody losing their crap about it. Cruella only came in with just over 20-something million. I'm going to pull up the data right now so we can get exact numbers. Cruella brought in 26 million over the weekend, and A Quiet Place 2 bringing in $58.5 million. Spiral in its third week even bringing in an additional 20. Wrath of Man bringing in 22.
Oh, nice.
We're seeing a lot of box office stuff coming in. Movies are coming back. They're back to the movies. But definitely big openings for Quiet Place. So we're gonna see, because it's a low budget movie. Horror movies like that are extremely low budget, and Krasinski is doing a good job using classic horror tropes. Amazing sound design. Like, there was a couple of moments in there where I was just wanting to applaud the guy that did the sound design for this movie. because it was just very, very accurate and very well done, especially for a sound guy. But yeah, it was a solid sequel. I can't complain about this movie too much because it did what it was supposed to do. It didn't disappoint. If you're a fan of the first one, you're gonna love the second one. Other than the obvious criticisms that I'm gonna have about any horror movie like this, it held up. Let's see. Velvet Santa says, "How's the AMC stock doing?" Last I checked, it was about $20. It's doing very well. GameStop also at $220.
One thing we didn't talk about was the CEO of AMC stepped down or something, right? Because of the GameStop Reddit stock stuff. So that's a thing that happened.
He probably stepped down and cashed out all his shares, which is what I would have done. I'm I'm gonna never have to work again. Later, nerds. And this stock was at $1.96 a share less than a year ago, and it's now at $20. That's why we were talking about that company, the Chinese company last week that sold all their controlling shares. It's why wouldn't you? You've got this out, and you've got if you've got that much tied up in it, just take your billions and roll, dude. Be the thing to do. So anyway, Quiet Place 2 theaters right now. You can check it out. It was a pretty fun romp in that universe, and we're probably gonna can you hold your sticky notes up to the screen? Can you do that? I'm just looking over at your new tablet, and can we see Jake's sticky notes?
No, that's not movie related.
Why not, man?
That's not movie related.
I mean,
we're talking about movies.
I just kind of I glanced over at his tablet, and he was just taking some notes. He was taking some movie notes that I think, you're going to share with the class?
We'll reveal it next week.
Oh,
Tune in next week for the big reveal.
We will.
Yeah, it's my secret list of foreign films.
Mm-hmm. I look like stinkers, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, all of that's pretty interesting. And Vince points out, remember a couple months ago when movies like The Goonies were topping Billboard charts, where it was all classics coming back. At least now we're starting to see something that's all new or newish movies. And it's good to see something like Wrath of Man keep up and Disney not be a full-blown takeover with something that probably doesn't deserve any money at the box office. Who thought Cruella was a good idea?
Somebody.
But that doesn't account for how much they brought in on their Disney Plus premiere for everyone that wants to stay at home and finds it more beneficial to just buy it through Disney Plus for an extra $500 and watch it with their family of three. Yeah.
And what Dina just said before we get out of here, she said, in terms of numbers, the top grossing films this weekend pulled similar numbers to the top ones this time 2 years ago.
Well, there you go.
That's that is a sign that things are growing. Nature is finding a way. We're returning. Films are returning. So
it's weird to see a box office without something like a Marvel movie that grosses 6 figures opening.
Thank
weekends.
God. I don't think we need to get back there quite yet.
8 figures. 9, 100 million, 9. Remember how numbers work? I remember how numbers work.
Vince says, whenever Dina talks movie numbers, I picture her with a poker clear visor and an old-timey lever adding machine. She's got the green thing, and she's got a stogue, and she's just sitting there, shorthand, well, and she peels it off, and she goes, well, according to the numbers. And
is it Beetlejuice where he has on the deal? Or no, Addams Family. Yeah, where he's like...
Oh, yeah, that was Gomez is just sitting there going nuts at the adding machine.
Yeah, or Velvet Santa.
Raul Julia.
Like Data. Yeah.
Oh, or Data when he's dealing poker. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So, that's exactly... I mean, Dina confirmed it. She says it's true. And now I got to have to find one of those hats and gift it to her. I'm just be like, here's your movie Data adding. I'll ship it to you. And maybe if I can figure out how to get it Drive-in Speakerbox branded. That'd be her Adden hat, her movie box office hat. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, we got to get out of here. This guy's got to go to work, and I've got some stuff I got to do over at Pinpoint as well. But thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you guys had a really great holiday weekend. You can download this podcast anytime you want if you missed any part of it over on Spotify or wherever you download your podcast. And also like, subscribe, and share with your friends over on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We do have enough followers now on Twitch to where we can be an affiliate here pretty soon. We just need to stream a little bit more. So maybe if this guy can connect the Drive-in Speakerbox account to his when he's playing Sea of Thieves, then we can get our streaming hours up, and you can watch us like be stupid on a sailboat while we're not doing the movie show. So who knows? We'll get there, and then we can unlock all kinds of fun things like bits and emotes and all that jazz. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We don't even know. It's 2021. It's summertime. Hot. Well, are we hot boys? I'm not a hot boy.
No.
Yeah, we're average boy summer happening over here. So thanks for tuning in. Hey, thank you, Counterexample, Velvet Santa, Vince, Night Owl, Shadina, McLean, Garrett, all the people at home, Sam, everybody tuning in as always. Thanks for tuning in. I'm the Boom Operator.
I'm the Grip.
We'll see you guys next week.